Hey everyone, it's Zachen from Behind the Scene here, joined by the good Yanni and Max from Life's Ill, just having a little bit of a chat today amidst everything that's happening on with coronavirus. And how are you guys going tonight?
Hello, sir. I'm going very, very well for the circumstances we're in.
Yeah, what he said.
He
Two
said
in brackets.
Yeah. No, awesome, guys. Awesome. Just have a little bit of a chat about the band for the second time after some issues we've just encountered before on my end. But just starting into it, how did you, we'll start off with Yanni for this question. How did you start in the band when you came into Life's Ill?
Pretty much the band had gone through members and released the demo, I should say. And 2 weeks prior to the show, the original plan basis, I guess, was decided to pull out, and I just got a message from the old vocalist who I'd met a handful of times at shows but didn't know too well personally, and he said, "Hey, do you want to play the show and fill in songs?" And went to a prac and played the show really badly. More shows started to come in over the coming weeks and months, and eventually I'm just am I in the band or what's the go? And they're like, "Yeah, sweet, you're in."
I was at that show, Yanni. I had to play, so I can review how you were.
Yeah, you weren't in the band at the time when Yanni joined?
No, I was how old was I? I was 16, 17.
Are we a year and a half in?
Yeah, I didn't join for a year and a half, I think.
Yeah, what's your story for joining the band, Max?
Basically got a call one night from my friend David, and he's like, "We're having some trouble with our vocalist. Do you want to come in and fill in for a couple shows?" And it was just a case of, yeah, fucking hell, I'd love to. From there, I just became the permanent vocalist.
Awesome. And rest is history, I guess, as they say. And, you guys are both really good parts of the band now and for everything that goes on at this stage. Outside of Life's Ill, I guess, looking at Yanni, tell us about your involvement and what you do in the music scene, for your community a little bit.
So, I think 4 years now, I've been running shows under various names, and originally starting out at Chatswood Youth Centre, so I put on the first show there. We had a great response. We played it too. Pretty much just put the show on for the sake of putting a show on in my local area, as no one else was really doing that. So filled that sort of gap in the market, I guess. Kept doing that, and more bands wanted to work with me. I started to work with more venues and just expanded from there alongside the bands.
Awesome, man. Awesome. It's really good that kind of got that in your side pocket, being a part of the music scene as well as being in a band. That's really, really cool. Max, what's your opinion on Sydney, New South Wales hardcore in general? It's a real awesome community down there. Bands like Honest Crooks, Justice for the Damned, Staunch, etc. have come through. Yeah, what's your opinion on the scene down where you guys are from?
For the most part, it's pretty good. I guess we've made a lot of friends over the years and met a lot of good people. So for me, it's just really been meeting great people, hearing awesome music. I'm pretty sure Yanni probably have more to say about this topic. He's been in it a lot longer than me. But yeah, I've just met a lot of cool people through it all, and we all bounce back off each other. We all support each other. It's a very supportive in the sort of circle where I'm from. Yeah.
What do you have to say about the scene in your area, Yanni?
I've seen it go up and down through the span of the band, I guess, just as natural factors like venues closing, bands breaking up, starting again. But at the moment, over the past year or so, it's been really, really good. A lot of influx of younger bands coming through, a lot more sort of positive vibes, less cancelled people hanging around, I guess. So, I'm loving how it is. All the bands are putting out great music too. Shows are going off. The only thing that I feel needs some more work is the new kids need to learn how to pit so they can take over from us oldies. Because my knees and my back hurt heaps, and I'm sure many can agree.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-20s and I can last about 2 songs before I'm done for an entire gig. So new jacks to the scene down in Sydney, take note and pick up on your moshing skills, according to Yanni. Pulling it back more to I guess what Life's Ill were doing, towards the end of last year, you guys did do a little tour along the East Coast while the bushfires were going on, opened Invasion Fest, and based on our previous discussion, had a lot of things cancelled. What plans did you have in place pre-lockdown?
Yeah. So I felt like we had a lot of momentum going into this year. We just did our first headline run at the end of last year, which went awesome. And coming into this year, we opened Invasion Fest in Sydney, which was bloody terrific. Played with Terra. We had a massive charity show for the bushfires, and we also had a couple shows booked as well, including one with Confession in Sydney. So we came into the year with quite high hopes. We had a record pretty much written, and we were just getting ready to do some final touches and go record it. And this all sort of happened, and we're just in a spot right now where we're sort of like, well, we obviously can't do shows. Let's just work on what music that we have, the demos and bits and pieces that we have. And we're just putting basically fine touches onto it all until we can actually go in and record it, and then hopefully do some shows at the back of that once this is all cleared up, which it will eventually.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows?
Can I add in there too? So with that, I guess we're in a good position compared to others, I guess, in terms of our plans for right now, because there's lots of bands who've had to have tours cancelled, postponed. Justice for the Damned were meant to release their album in 2 weeks' time, I believe.
Yeah.
And they just had to push it back because they aren't able to get supply of their records. So out of most bands, we're in a pretty good spot. We can just sort of sit back and plan and write what we can from where we are. And then we should be back on everyone's level once we're all good.
Most definitely. Like
guns blazing.
A lot of different things have been affected. Like, as I said, not only the live shows, but also production for printing CDs and, getting albums out on time. So it is unfortunate, but at least you're looking towards the future and hoping to bounce back from that. And I guess, Yanni, as well, is it just a case of like taking it day by day, rescheduling as new information becomes available, and just seeing where you can go from there?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, hey? Like, I'd say in a few weeks' time we should be able to go out a bit more, but I can't see shows happening for, like, everyone's saying September, but we just got to take it as we go and hope for no second waves and that sort of thing. But as soon as we can, we'll be finalising writing, pre-pro, etc., and hopefully get this album record, I should say, close to finalisation.
Yeah. Kind of like, as you're saying from our previous conversation, Max, just in regards to like your musical influences, what the band means to you and everything, did you expect to be a vocalist in a band, I guess? Maybe like 5 or so years ago, as you said, you did a fill-in, but is this kind of where you expected to be?
Well, basically going into high school, on the back end of primary school even, my parents, they really liked heavy music, and I started adopting my own sort of bands I got into at a younger age, things like Korn, Slipknot, Nine Inch Nails, along those sort of lines. And going through high school, I always wanted to be a vocalist, to be honest. There was, if you go back on my Facebook, there's probably plenty of videos of me doing vocal covers to a bunch of metalcore bands I liked back in the day, and
Same Kid Catload.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those in my back pocket as well.
I definitely had long black hair and all that sort of stuff. But I always wanted to do vocals. I eventually did become a vocalist for a band at one point, but to be honest with you, it wasn't really until this band I went into where things really started taking up in a way of my own head, being able to do shows constantly, write constantly, all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Nah, living the dream. And like, is it similar for you, Yanni? Like, did you always want to be a bassist in a band or be in a band at all? Like, how did your musical journey kind of come to it all?
Pretty much I got a bass because my friends were jamming. Like, my friends from school were just jamming and they needed the bass, like someone playing bass to sort of join in, or more so I just wanted to be involved in something. So I bought this crappy little bass and learnt some Blink songs and played along with them eventually, and started to pick up from there, and eventually got us to do Life Hills. So literally everything that's happened has just been winging it and just taking what opportunities they get.
Yeah, we all have to start somewhere. So, that's a pretty good way.
Before that, I had no sort of, like, I never thought I'd be in a band or anything. So it happened pretty fast, but just writing it out.
Yeah, awesome. And like, you guys you have been, over the past couple of years accomplishing some really cool things. Moving forward, post-COVID, after all of this has kind of died down, are there any goals you guys would like to check off?
For me, to be honest, it's just putting out the new music we have. Honestly, hearing it on the demos and the pre-pros we've done from it, it's the most fun stuff I've ever recorded. It's my favorite release we've done, is what I'm trying to say, and I'm really excited to actually record it and put it out. That's basically my goal. I'd love to tick up the list once all the shit's over. Cool.
Anything you can add, Yanni?
Yeah, same thing, really. I just want to hear it in full, with full production, etc., and sort of see what we put out, and then hopefully get a good response for it, do some tours, maybe do some travels to new places, but take it as it comes.
Definitely. I'll be itching for that to come out to hear you guys and have you back up in Brisbane again because, it's always a good time having you guys up this way. But, hey, for the second time tonight, thank you.
It's our second home for sure.
And our home is always your guys' home, as you know.
But the one, I gotta churn in here. The one thing is going to be very different when we go up to Brisbane.
Please.
Fat Belly Jack's closed.
Oh, man. Shout out to Fat Belly Jack's, for those of you who don't know. Best fried chicken in Queensland. Sponsor me if you guys open back up again because it's absolutely phenomenal. I was hoping that you were going to say Max Blanchett wasn't going to tag along. That's what would be different.
Hey, it was his birthday. We felt bad not letting him go.
To be honest, that last run we did on the East Coast, me and Brody Graham, we tried Nashville fried chicken from every single place we played, Brisbane, Sydney, Newcastle, and Melbourne, and Fat Belly Jack's is definitely number one. Fat
Belly Jack's, sponsor Life's Ill. And didn't you have their secret hot wings as well, Max?
Yeah, I definitely had the secret menu, the hottest ones you could get. But I will say this, they weren't the spiciest. That one goes to Bell's Hot Chicken. If you like spicy food, do not order their hottest chicken because you'll be fucked.
Yeah, and kind of like on the topic of hot chicken, I guess, before we cap off, I forgot to mention this one. You guys had a live stream charity event basically imitating Hot Ones. How did that all come together?
I heard that to us.
It was just an idea that I came up with one day. We had a charity show in the pipeline that we're going to announce. And I was sort of thinking, what if we announce it on a live stream while we eat hot wings? Answer questions in the comments and do a sort of like donation thing live while we're doing it. And me being a big hot sauce fan that I am, I've got plenty of hot sauce bottles in my cupboard and a lot to inflict pain, especially on people like my good friend Yanni here. It was a big win-win for me. Got to eat hot wings, I think we raised about $900, $800. And yeah, it went a lot better than expected, and I'm very appreciative to all the people that tuned in and donated.
Yeah, who handled the hot wings the best, do you reckon?
Max, because he made it. So
other than Max,
he's the king of the spice. I suffered the most. I think Jared bailed on the last one, but as he was loving it, he was struggling, but he was loving it too because it just makes you really euphoric and.
It's its own sort of high, for sure.
Yeah, I have heard that, hot food freaks. I'm not a big fan of it myself as well. Like, I kid about jalapenos, and then that's as hard as it gets for me. I'll have to try the hot wings next time I'm down or you're up, whichever way it goes. Again, thank you so much for giving me your time tonight. I really appreciate it and wish you all the best and stay safe during these times.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Zachen. You too, mate.
Eat swab, boys. Have a good one.